Yo guys, Theo here on Common Sense. Progress is not linear, it's only progressively regressing you should fear. Progress is not linear, but when you embrace that, it almost is, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, something I haven't really talked all that much about on this channel, but I mentioned it here and there, is that before all of this, before the Uncommon Sense stuff, I used to be an online poker pro, and it's not as glamorous as it sounds. I didn't make millions, I wasn't on TV or anything, but I made decent money for my age. It's just that I lived complete shit lifestyle, the circadian rhythm completely upside down, ate mostly junk food, was partying a lot, but it's actually the best thing I did before all of this, really. But okay, something I learned from this, a pattern I picked up on, and by the way, guys, the universe is all pattern, so you should be doing this all the time. When you observe something, a phenomenon in one area, you should see where can I see this in other places, because everything correlates. Many lessons you learn in one area can be applied to many different areas. So this is something that's been anchored in me from the poker. That, okay, obviously there's a chance element in a game of cards, right? You can't predict exactly what cards will be dealt, but you can know what's probable and you can make the statistically best decision so that you come out on top in the long term, right? But this still means that even if you make the best decision here and now in this hand, it still can't go your way every time, right? You still need, the times you win, you still need things to go your way, right? And so I observed this, that okay, inevitably there will be up and down swings in poker, and it's really, the upswings are great, it's very enjoyable when you're okay. So upswings and downswings, I think it's obvious. It's upswing is when you're statistically more lucky than you should be according to the average, and a downswing is the opposite, right? And so the upswing is great. It's great to be hitting cards, and that's when you win the most. But I noticed that it's really most important to minimize the downswings, because when you're having an upswing, it's how much will I win, but it's when you're having a downswing when you can really get in your way, like you can fuck it up. Instead, so when things aren't going your way, instead of being like, oh, that's right, I've been lucky many times before, and now I'm unlucky, I'm actually doing well, I've made the best decisions, I'm just unlucky. Losing the minimum is what it, being good, doing it right looks like sometimes. But that's when you can get in your own way, let ego get in. Oh, I'm so unlucky, and you start making dumb, emotion-based, you go on tilt, as we say in poker, make emotional dumb decisions, maybe when you just should have stopped playing and be happy that you didn't lose more that day, you continue and you lose more. This is the same in life, guys. So what I notice is, you want your winning curve, it can't be just like win, 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 win. It's gonna be upswing, downswing, upswing, downswing, upswing, down. Do you see? You maximize the upswings and minimize the downswings, so that when you zoom out from this, you will still see a straight line going upwards. And this is how it should be with everything in life, guys. When you pick up on this pattern in life, you can't unsee it, that everything exists in this duality. In order for you to be able to be lucky, you have to be able to be unlucky. In order for you to feel good, you have to be able to feel bad. In order for good to exist, evil has to exist. Light, darkness, inhale, exhale. Sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system. You see, this duality always exists, and it's about managing the waves. So we say the day, this is too, the sun goes up, it's day, and then it's night, We're talking about maximizing upswings and downswings here. It's like, yeah, the sun is out, you get the energy, yeah, it's healthy to be in the sun, but this is, you maximize, you do as much productive good stuff as possible in the day, and then you rest, you chill, you do whatever you can to recover the best you can at night, you sleep. Oh, it's not as much fun, you can't get as much done in the night. I mean, you shouldn't, you're just if yeah, I did that in the poker, but I was feeling like shit, you can't bend certain, there are up and downswings in different ways, right? So it's all about how you're riding these waves. So in life, it's motivation again. It's like being lucky. For no reason. Things are just like, it's just easier. I just feel better. I just want to do these things that I sometimes don't want to, or don't feel as much doing. And it feels better and it goes better. Wow. And maybe you can take on more things. But this can't be what you rely on, because then you're gonna be, it's like relying on luck. It's like relying on luck in poker. I think I'm going to be rich for poker. I'm hoping to be lucky enough. That's kind of what you do if you're relying on motivation. What you do again is you maximize, you capitalize on when you're motivated, but then you gotta keep doing the same things during the downswing when you aren't as motivated. You understand? It's in life too. There's another thing to this with how stuff is linear. Certain backsteps, they maybe weren't backsteps at all. Maybe they were just you like an arrow being pulled back and ready to be shot to new heights. This is like me with the panic attacks. If you just look at that event when the panic attacks hit, it's just like biggest downswing ever. But what happened after that is like zoom, biggest upswing ever, right? So to make the point, I can go from there too. I was a little naive after that point because I had never felt that great that I did when I overcame the panic attacks. And so I kind of thought that, something had permanently changed with it, which it had in a sense. I found this new mindset, but I couldn't be feeling that way forever. And so I've had during these years after that, I've been feeling better than ever, but I've had a few times where I've like really struggled. But I've come out because I've kept doing the things. I've not been excited about my training. I've not been excited about doing the YouTube stuff. So many things now I've not been excited by. But I know what progress has to look like. It is consistently taking these little steps in the right direction, never stopping. So it might have been periods in my life when I had to put some things on kind of maintenance, But when you look, it's like I said about this curve that goes like this. If you zoom out, it kind of looks linear. That's what my progress with the training and shit looks like. But I know for myself that I've had periods where I make much faster progress because I'm just riding this wave, right? But it is, in the end, because I didn't drop the ball during the downswings and just kept doing the things I need to do. Minimize losses, really. But you see how it's kind of metaphorical. I didn't really lose anything like that, right? But that's why I've come so far. And this is what it not sickens me. It just makes me sad when I hear people that have been on some kind of journey like this, And then it was like, but then I got this injury, and then I just stopped. It seems so unfortunate for me because it's like going up stairs and like hitting your foot and going back one step, and instead of being like, shit, maybe I have to go a little like this now, but I keep going up, you just walk down the stairs, and now we have a whole fucking stairs to walk up again. That's what happens when you're stuck in this cycle of motivation too. Like, I woke up when I'm motivated, I'm not motivated again. I'm motivated again. No, you just walk a little slower, or you go with your little limp or whatever. You have to minimize the downswing, but don't stop. Don't fucking stop. I was hoping I was going to get away without editing, but clearly not. But yeah, the other thing I want to say, many of these things that might seem like a big bad beat, like a big setback, sometimes they were blessing in disguises, or in fact they were every time you chose for them to be. You might not be able to experience that right in the moment every time, but it's like with my panic attacks. Felt terrible, worst thing ever, led to the best thing ever. All the injuries that often make people stop training, I've had many injuries throughout these years. I would not be as developed as I am without my injuries. Like my first shoulder injury here was terrible. I had to walk around when someone wanted to hug. I'm quick with the other side because it hurt so much. The only chest exercise I could do to begin with was high to low cable flies. So I just did like fucking 10 sets of these to be able to keep the chest going, I was working around it, finding what exercises worked, researching how to rehab, and then now my shoulders are like more bulletproof than ever. And when I got back to benching, because that I couldn't do at all, it was on the bench, I hurt myself. When I got back to benching, I beat the previous personal best I had without even having bench pressed, because I was working and strengthening the muscles in other ways. So you see, sometimes this with progress is not linear. It's not only in this like micro thing, like, okay, now I'm on an upswing, okay, I'm on a downswing, I take a little step back, or I just move forward or slowly, sometimes these seemingly big bad beats, they weren't the backstep unless you let them be. They could be. This is when you could have been the arrow that was pulled back, ready to go. It's always through difficulty, backsteps, like seemingly unfortunate events, pain. It's only in the moment that it sucks completely. Those are the things that lead to the best things in the end. Big downswings is what allows for the big upswings, both in the contrast. I could have never felt so happy and grateful, about life if I had not gone through the worst things. But I also mean, it's like you can learn so much from these things. Interrupted by an update, but yeah, the most successful people, the most impressive people with the strongest mindsets, I've never heard them tell a story of like, everything was just easy for me. It was linear. Yeah, I started with this early on, and I really never had any backsteps, any difficulty, and I just developed this mindset and these results. No, they have always had big pain and downswings that they managed to make an upswing in the end. That's what you gotta do, guys. Progress is not linear. Progressively regressing is the only thing you should fear. Sometimes when something seemingly pushes you back a lot, it hurts. It's difficult then, but you have to be like, okay, what do I do now? And in the end, this is what gave you the biggest win ever. So please, guys, like and comment. All comments and likes help support the channel. If you're interested in coaching, I'm taking on clients. You can apply via the website or DM me on Instagram. It's all in the description below. Please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscles, help improve it, stoicism, mental health, philosophy, mindset. It's a mindset, guys. Maximize the upswings, minimize the downswings. Oh my God. Peace, guys.